This is Sue Bunch from Back to Back Fiber Products. We have been in the business of making non-woven products of alpaca fiber for about 10 years, my sister and I. And we have recently developed a product that is made not with needle felting like our quilting and crafting kits, but with thermal bonding. It's where we take the alpaca fiber, blend it with a tiny bit of a vegetable fiber, and through a heat process, it bonds the fibers together and makes a mat. And we have found that this is especially helpful for gardening projects. And so I'm going to show it to you a little bit today and give you some ideas of how you might want to use it. It's very environmentally friendly, as you can imagine, sustainable in our environment, and it's very easy to use. So we don't have to use plastic liners and things like that. So my demonstration today is going to be just how to use this in like a little pot that you might put in your garden. But as we walk through this, we'll talk about how you could use it in a large vegetable garden. But for my demonstration, I'm going to show you. You can see about what this product looks like. It's, maybe 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch thick, something like that. And it's very soft and pliable, and it can be cut or torn. So with this, it comes in big sheets, 90 inches wide and 10 to 14 feet long. And so you could lay it out in a garden, something like that. If you're making a big garden and you just want to lay it down to cover up your plants and prevent the weeds from coming through, you can cut it easily. You can see like that. Or you can even tear it. So you don't have to have scissors, but you can tear it to the shape and the width that you want. In this case, I just cut a square, and I'm just going to push it down into the pot I have here that I'm going to put my plants into. And it will just make a nice pot liner. And when the season is finished and we get rid of the soil and the plants that have lasted us through that season, the whole thing can be dumped out and it can go back into the earth. If you want to think about this as far as a garden might go, it's really helpful. It keeps the weeds from coming up so much in the garden. You could lay it down into your garden and cut or tear tiny holes to put your little seedlings in, and it has a nice insulative quality to it. Now I'm going to start by putting some soil in here, and we'll get started with making our little planter here with our what we call our nature's garden bedding. So with our alpaca garden blanket, we're going to start and just put some soil in there, and then we can take our plants and set them right in amongst all of that. Now, another thing that's very useful for this is I live out in Arizona, so we don't have very cold winters, but this year we had a cold spell, like a lot of places around the country that had unusual weather, and I have a tree in my front patio that is very susceptible to cold weather. And so I took some of this material and I wrapped it around, and I got up on a ladder and I twisted it around and held it with some little clips, and it got through the winter, just those few winter days, very nicely. So that was one use. So if you have some, even in the spring now when there's going to be a cold spell, you could use it to lay over the top of things. Maybe you've started your garden and you could just lay it over the top of things to prevent maybe the last minute frost catching your plants. Use of it. I've had some people use it in their garden in the place where they walk, so that you can lay it down, big long strips of it, and it's easy to walk on, and it prevents the weeds from coming up. And so that's a very great use for it. So I'm going to continue here, placing the last of my plants in here. And when we come back, then we'll see how we can put the last pieces in the top and finish up our little planter here. Be back in just a few minutes. I've now finished filling the soil around the little plants I've placed in here. And now my next step is to tuck the blanket around the roots of the plants here. So I'm just wrapping it up in a little blanket and just tuck it in around as best as you can. You can water right through this material, and as I mentioned, I live out here in Arizona, and we found it's because of such a dry climate, planters like this are difficult to work with because you have to water them so often. And those of us that are trying to cut down on water usage as much as we can, a product like this is very useful. And it protects the roots and it keeps the water from evaporating so quickly. And there you go, it has a little blanket. So I hope I've given you some ideas to use our Nature's Garden blanket. Who knew that alpaca fiber could have so many interesting uses, not for just wonderful warm clothing for us, but for things to use in our garden. You also might think about putting some pieces up in your tree. It makes great little nesting material for birds, and they love it in the springtime when they're out hunting for things to build their nests. And it's also fun to watch them picking it and taking little pieces of it into their nest. So we hope you enjoy our new product, Nature's Garden Blanket. Please follow our website and call us if you have any questions. You can order our product right at our website. Thank you for joining us.